Okay, let's quickly go to our first topic for discussion, which is, of course, a Twitter ban. Reaction continues to trail the federal government's suspension or ban, as it were, on Twitter operations in Nigeria. And SERAP has sent an urgent appeal to the Secretary of the Commonwealth, urging her to apply the Commonwealth Charter to hold the Nigerian government to account. The organization asked Ms. Scotland to urgently consider recommending the suspension of Nigeria from the Commonwealth of the heads of government, the Commonwealth chief in office, chair in office, and Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II as the head of Commonwealth, to push the government to take concrete measures to respect and promote the Commonwealth value of human rights, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. I mean, that's one of many reactions. Of course, the international communities have had their say. The UK, the US have all condemned the ban or the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria. I don't know where to start. Let me just hear your general perspective about that.
Thank you so much, Solomon. You know, the recent ban of social media platform, the Twitter by the federal government, is indeed has betrayed the emotions of the President Buhari's led government. It has shown that he has no, is unwilling to accommodate dissenting views. And for me, it is unfortunate and most ridiculous for a government, a government practicing democracy, will be stifling and attempting to guard the rights of citizens to express themselves. It is indeed provided under Section 39 of the Constitution that citizens have freedom of expression and to hold opinion. But by the action of the federal government, that aspect of the right has been curtailed without reasonable justification. If the president reason for banning the Twitter in Nigeria is as a result of the actions of the Twitter, I do not see why Nigerian people will be the ones to feel the collateral damage, because I understand how social media works. Perhaps the people in the echelon of power do not appreciate this obvious reality, because I believe many Nigerians and those outside Nigeria did report the tweet of the president, and upon which the Twitter took it down based on their own policy. So if for any reason government feels that is unjustified, they should appeal that decision and not to make Nigeria to suffer unjustly. So I'm a bit, I'm worried and disappointed, just like every other Nigerian, by that action. It has further, portrayed Nigerian as a serious nation. You can see how both the UK, the US, the Canada, and other countries of the world are heaping blames on, condemning the actions of the president. And those in the corridors of power seem not to appreciate this. It is unfortunate. It is quite unfortunate. I will leave it at that.
Okay, let's say your view first.
Well, I completely concur with my learned friend here. But chief of all is that this government is driving us back to 1984. Is that the most important thing the government should be thinking about, suspending Twitter?
Especially with the insecurity and the economic turmoil going on.
Even if, assuming without conceding that Twitter was probably acknowledging some tweets, but look at the larger picture. They have also exposed a lot of things that are happening. So the government should have weighed the positive from the negative. Now, what happened was personal to the president. Why should the whole Nigeria be concerned with what he tweeted something and they removed it? Who is the president? He's a citizen. He's our servant. Why should he now decide on his own to ban Twitter? Is that the most important thing that is happening in Nigeria today? Look at how quick they have exercised that power. How come they have not exercised it as quick as that to curb banditry, to curb Boko Haram, to curb IPOB if there is? But Twitter is the most important thing for now. I find it clueless for them to do that. That's what I have to say.
Okay, now, all over the world, I mean, for countries that are practicing true democracy, there are so many things involved, and a part of the thing is, besides freedom of speech and expression, one of the ways the ruling government is being put under check is when there are dialogues, and some of these dialogue come in the way of opposition, comes in the way of criticism, and it happens all over the world. But this government, seem to react harshly when it comes to criticisms. Like they don't want to hear any form of criticism from anywhere. It pisses them off. And they've been accused of that, and this looks like one of those examples.
Yes, it is. If you have followed the trajectory of this government from 2015, you would see that they have actually indicated their unwillingness to allow citizens express their views. It's an unfortunate development because the government itself came on board as a result of social media platforms that vigorously people use to campaign for the same government. But they turn around to begin to, guard and trying to streamline people's freedom to express themselves. So it is, for me personally, I'm not surprised. Buhari's government has shown this over and over again, and even the blind could actually envisage what the decision they took last Friday. And if you even analyze the statement itself, because the reason given by government to ban Twitter was because they are saying that people are abusing social media. They are trying to use it to cause problems, insecurities, and all of that. But I sincerely do hope that Buhari's tweet is uncalled for. It is genocidal. It is unprecedented. It is President Buhari is the #1 citizen of this country, and he enjoys wide followership on social media platforms. So people ordinarily should disagree with whatever view the president holds, whether it was him that tweeted or through his advisors. But the truth of the matter is that language, because he said he was going to deal with a particular region of this country in a language that they understand, and thereafter made some innuendos to remind those geopolitical zones of what happened during the Civil War. So it is very terrible situation, and if we are in that part of the region where Buhari alluded to, you feel so bad. Instead of giving people hope and the integration of every part of this country into this administration, he has continued to polarize us against over ethnic and political divides. So analyzing the context itself, the contextual meaning of the tweets of the president, it is condemnable. And I believe that the action of the Twitter to take it down is not personal to Buhari. Perhaps they took it personal, but it's not personal. Of course, if you look at how social media regulates people's languages, there are certain words you use. Ordinarily, once the Twitter or Facebook or whatever platform gets to know about that, you automatically be warned, suspended, or that post will be taken down. So it is not personal to Buhari. And in this case, there was heavy reports. That account was reported for abuse, and part of the remedies, part of the immediate measure was to suspend or to take that particular post. It was not even suspended. So, but I think the federal government now saw opportunity to take decisions they have been, trying to take over the years.